This is the chest plates I'm working on, but I'm looking at doing more like Bo-Katans or just like the fit, and so it's not like the armor. You know what I mean? Because I don't like that.
Yeah. Show us what you got.
So, right now he's not behaving with his controller. I think it's because I haven't had a chance to sync it up yet. But it's got an IMU in here, which is an inertial movement that keeps it level. So when he goes forward, he kind of tips forward, and then that compensates to flatten it back out. You've got 2 batteries under here, and then you've got the radio receiver, and then the actual brains, which is just an Arduino. I mean, he's actually a fairly simple circuit. You know, most of the complicated stuff is the programming. Yeah, and then there's. Huh?
Is that the wheel?
This is the wheel. That'll go in there, and then you've got the 2 rims on either side. These are the actual spinning parts. It drives like a tank. And this is just kind of decorative. It sits on the outside.
Gotcha. But the inside stays balanced.
The inside stays balanced. Yeah. So like, if I were to get this thing turned on and I kicked it like that, he would actually kind of move forward a little bit to keep himself straight. But right now he's not running for some reason or another. And once I drive C2 around a bit, I'm gonna look at to why.
Right. And the head, that's got electronics in there too.
Yep, and the heads. So the head will connect to the side. It'll actually connect to this side. And it's got a servo in here to tilt this back and forth so you can look up and down. And then it's got a couple servos in here. I haven't finished connecting them. That'll articulate the head. Yeah, but it's fun. All the parts are printed. I need to paint it, which is always a pain. Making noise. Okay. One of the leads came off on the motor, so I have to pull this out and redo it. I'd expect nothing less.
I should.
Because of the way this is designed, the motor mount, the 2 bolts are right here.
So we got that out of the way.
It's like a damn car.
Yep. It's designed to go together. It's not designed to come apart.
We're watching Voyager.
Actually, Wayne,
They're working on Star Wars costumes.
do you have metric keys? Because this one isn't working.
Got what?
Do you have metric Allen wrenches? Because this one isn't working.
Do you have both sets of your Allen wrenches with you?
They're sitting at the house.
I might have one.
Let me check for this.
All the crap that I brought.
Clamps, clamps, and more clamps.
We never have enough clamps. We've all bought so many clamps. There's just a
I did have my
communal
other
bag
rotating.
of clamps that goes to whoever's building stuff at the moment.
And snaps. Lots of snaps.
Okay, I haven't bought those
Infinite
yet.
snaps.
This doesn't move.
Yes, I see it. It's like this.
I've got a straight edge if you need it.
I'd be surprised if Adobe
If you need to make a line or anything to follow.
The guy that made one of these in
Oh, there's lights.
yeah, in Newport News, my buddy in Newport News, he put some strip lights in there,
It's so smart.
and so I decided to do the same thing.
You only need a little bit.
Yep. And now you can.
Work in the dark.
Yep. See, so what I could do, since Wayne isn't paying attention, is I could take the motor that he has, because that's really the one that I should be using in
Right.
here. And since he's still not paying attention, I could easily swap it out with this one.
Oh, he's paying attention. He's just, I'm fully on board with that.
So that you've got the Arduino with the USB shield on it for the Bluetooth sensor. Then you've got the sound card, mainline circuit breaker, 10 amp. Basically, that's a bad day circuit breaker. This is your voltage converter. It converts the 24 volts coming from the battery to 12 volts for this. And there's another voltage converter that goes up to the dome that's in the dome, and it converts this from 12 to 5 for the dome electronics. I've got a circuit panel down here, circuit breakers, or fuse box rather. And then you can't really see them down there, but there's a couple motor controllers. There's one motor controller for the dome, and then there's one motor controller for both feet. And then here, the last thing is this right here is the amp for the speakers.
Yeah, I have that. Wow, yeah, you got the knobs and everything.
That's an auto amp. So it's way overpowered for what I need, but it works. And it's plenty loud enough.
Chris sounds like a PBS show.
This old droid.
So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to swap out the current connectors for a different type of connector. That came off my terrible soldering job. Slide this.
3D printed.
It's just a. This is just a spacer to get the motor up to the right height. So I need to find some place to plug this in.
You want to draw it? Go.
Be quicker.
Works for me.
Save your hands.
Sounds good to me.
So you're not doing what I'm doing now. I'm like heating light for another, 8 inches?
That's a good tap again.
So the first thing I'm going to do is something that I'm not really good at, which is called tinning the wire. So what you want to do is you want to get like a little bit of solder basically covering this. You see that there's some solder covering that. I'm going to need to tin that as well. Basically what it does is it puts solder on the two connections so that when you bring them together for the actual connection, they wick together better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this just the right way so that all the fumes come right up to my face. All right. So,
Do you need a hand? I can hold it, but you don't solder me.
yeah, so what I would like you to do, if you don't mind, is basically grab it with this and just kind of hold it like right up against that hole.
Too bad we didn't get that on film.
So that's the end result. Again, I'm terrible at welding. Don't make welds that look like that. But I have many skills. Welding is not one of them.
We'll take it.
We were all just dead quiet. You're like, oh no, did I disconnect? I don't hear anything. And now we've transitioned to Zoom, which is working better.
Here's my cable.
And then you put the laptop on
We'll plug the cable in,
the battle map on the
and we'll slide the.
as a second camera. So
I found
There we go.
I thought it was really fun. Somebody made a Star Wars homebrew for
And then
called SW5.
let's give it a shot.
I made up a story and we ran
Let's see if the dome works before we put the dome back on.
Let's see.
we tried to play the one that
There
was
we
based,
go.
that was based off of
Okay, cool.
third edition.
So, because the electronics are finicky, I need to put the dome on before I turn the power on, or the dome electronics won't work. That's what's known as a mag tag. Some people on the R2 forums make them. So instead of having to fish under there and plug it in yourself, it's just a magnetic connection.
That's slick.
Yeah, no, Stephanie. I used to date from the sub shop.
There we go.
Creating its own.
Yeah, exactly. Which is just awesome.
My original one, just shy of 3 months. That was.
By Imperial Order 20129, all personnel must maintain a minimum of a 2-meter distance at all times. A healthy empire is a strong empire.
Aw, how you been, brother?
Good, man. How about you?
Good.
Awesome.
Where they at? Back?
Ooh, with beverages.
Yeah.
That is
I'm not
slick.
gonna lie. We had lunch before we got here.
Yeah, that's where I'm running out real quick, but I'll be back.
What's up? How you doing?
Good.
Doing good.
He's got some good up and go.
Look at it. Follow some of it.
I mean, you're basically, again, in a...
Yeah. You're in the little pod.
We think all these people
Right.
there.
I just gotta fix a couple things.
We think almost there.
That's what it
The whole
is.
movement, but then,
That enough, he's the guy who
It's like the opposite of when everything crashes. Like, then you higher.
That was the part that got me into it. When they told me they were going to Lake.
I think I have one of those hairs in my mouth.
She couldn't even tell me where she was at.
it's all natural horse hair.
He can tell me where you're at. So he gives me, when I get there, when I get to deal with the phone, I'm like, where are they? He says, well, they're at the corner of 221 and
So I got it worn. At least it seemed to have taken this gap out. So that's what I'm trying to focus on right now. Is I want to take the gap out of because the hair was in a couple of chunks. So if I can get this gap out, then I can put more spray in it. The problem is all the hair needs to go backwards like this. Because this hair is sticking straight out, so it needs to, this hair needs to be going this way. I think it's getting there.
How's this looking?
I think it's ready.
Ready for
I just-
topsy-turvy? Wait, you gotta do the other side, or
I
have
already
you
did the other side.
well, it works out great. She likes the point. I like the
Look at that.
So,
Look at that. Look at it.
Look
at it. Alright. You ready? Let's do it.
Oh yeah, now you got put
Yep.
are you
Now
gonna,
it's time to do the approval pictures.
oh, you got everything?
I got everything.
I think Paul showed me that the first time I ever saw it.
I don't know how I missed that run.
This is wood.
It reminds me so much of like graduation robes.
It does a little. Where's the black?
When did you need some of this started? So I just
This
gotta
is
put
my
some on it.
flight, or I guess it's not really a flight suit, more like coveralls that go underneath the robe.
I think so too, because like I
Put
did
it right on over this.
the post-it board template, and like I cut it like to see if everything laid right, and it was good. So we'll go for it. Okay. So that it does, because it does.
This is only $30 on Amazon.
Only $30.
Only $30. This is the same brand that a lot of people buy, like the Michael Myers. Yeah. All right, robe me. Actually, you know what? Let me do my boots first.
Boots. Gotta get the extra large.
It's made for someone who's out of it.
You can actually go up over the mountain past Floyd and come through Patrick County, and it knocks about a half hour off the trip.
I couldn't imagine after he had to drive from, all the way up here, all the way to Floyd to Mooney. Wayne would constantly complain about having to drive back to
I love Droid. Amanda had one of these for me.
Yeah,
I his love.
Oh, there he is.
Oh. That made me nervous.
I can put some padding on.
there you go. You're welcome. I was thinking about
Go ahead.
If you ever come back to the point, hit me up.
There you go. I was just getting ready to pull it out for us.
This is now my new carry coin.
Good.
I feel like the bride. Not very.
Looks really good, dude.
I feel like the bride. Oh, my roller.
roller.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna do this. That's all I can do. I don't know if this. We'll go for it.
I better have more because I'm like.
Yeah, exactly.
Gunnar has the gun.
Ready? Okay.
How about like something like this?
It's so weird to see you turn your head in front of
I
me.
know, too.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put it up on my shoulder.
How close?
Okay, fine, I'll finish it.
And then we'll do like the side of the cheeseburger.
So,